Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Pamela Stewart and I'm an author of young adult science fiction and fantasy. And today I want to be talking to you, drum roll please, about my brand new book that's coming out October 15th. But let me give you a little background on it. I'm an old school science fiction fan. In the 70s, I wasn't even alive then, but you know, yes I was. I would watch things like Star Wars and Buck Rogers and Battlestar Galactica, and I couldn't get enough of it, honestly. It was amazing to have these worlds. Now, even Star Trek was popular back then, but Star Trek, in my mind, is more hardcore space, whereas the Star Wars genre is more of a space opera. And I lean heavily towards a space opera because it's got a whole element of fantasy. I feel like kind of a renaissance of science fiction coming right now with movies like Alita and Guardians of the Galaxy and the popularity of Firefly. There's just so much going on, and even in the literary world there's books by Brandon Sanderson called Skyward, which is got a girl who's trying to learn how to fly a spaceship, and then there's Aurora Rising by J. Kristoff and Amie Kaufman, which is amazing, and their Illuminae Files books, to die for. I mean, the characters, the drama, I mean, I literally was on the edge of my seat the entire time I was reading that, but I'll probably be doing a book review of that some later time. But right now, these are just a few of my inspirations for wanting to get into the more space opera field. I've written other books, 3 full novels and 3 novellas in my near future fantasy, the Ionia Chronicles, starting with Frozen Hearts. It has androids and teenagers and adventure and saving the world and getting powers and everything I've always loved about books. But now I'm venturing into space. How I got the idea for Conscript. So with all this kind of thrown into my head, I did a little mix, add a little heat, took some time, and I come up with an idea that kind of wouldn't leave me alone. I love Harry Potter, okay? I love Harry Potter. I was at the release parties for the last 2 books. I've seen all the movies, and it did take me a little bit of time to get into them. I was one of the late adopters, but I became a super fan. I mean, notice it's been read multiple times. Good one. This is a good one. I loved the magic and the world building. JK just really did a lot for us, but what I loved most was the characters and their interactions. Like, she made every character feel like a real person. Like Harry, Hermione, Ron, people will argue about what they meant when they said something, or they should have said this, or they were mad at Snape for what he had said or done, and how his past informed his future. So I feel like the characters were one of the biggest selling points for me. They were funny, engaging, and I wanted to be able to create characters that had the same real feeling. Now, I don't know if I quite achieved that, but in my book Conscript, which is coming out soon, one of my goals was to make sort of a Harry Potter in space, and to have this trio of friends who learn how to trust each other and to learn about being in the Star Defenders, which they're conscripted into. They're very different personalities. I had read up on the Myers-Briggs test. I really love that stuff. I'm a very introverted, you can't tell from these videos, but I'm actually a very introverted person. But when it comes to writing and books, I can talk all day. So, like, I'm an introverted, sensitive, you know, and I'll have to look it up and put it below what my actual Myers-Briggs exam is, but I looked into what Harry, Hermione, and Ron, and I looked online and I found out they all had very different Myers-Briggs personalities that had been done by people. Then I looked at other, let's say, Star Wars and different movies that had the 3 main characters who had very different personalities. And I started to see some patterns there. And so from that, my character started to grow. Now, and I took them my own way, and I didn't copy anyone's different, you know, specific character trait or anything. But I think there's templates. You know, a character like Buffy or Harry will have the same Myers-Briggs or very similar. And so what I would take from that is like leadership qualities or willing to sacrifice themselves. So I kind of built that into my main character of Vega Volante. Dax, who is kind of a slow talking, very relaxed, super friendly guy. I borrowed a lot from Xander from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and from Ron. He was very much my Ron character, but he has his own way of looking at things, which is very unique. And then I have Amie, which is one of my favorite characters. She's has a lot of Hermione traits. Willow, I would have to say she has a lot of Willow in her as well. Maybe even C-3PO. But yeah, she's had some genetic modifications, and I'm not going to go further into that. I have to read the book to find out, but I'm really excited for this to come out really soon. I've been working on it since December of 2018 and doing edits and making it perfect and finding the perfect cover. Perhaps I will flash it up here right now. If not, I'm showing you my bookshelf. Forgot to tell you, here, this is important. I have a prequel to Conscript that is available right now. So if you want to go into the box below, you can sign up for my newsletter and get a free copy of it so you can give it a tester run and see if you like this kind of sci-fi fantasy with super strong female characters, adventure, romance, a little bit of romance. It's a slow burn romance, but there's some romance in there. There's a mystery, and there's lots of space adventure. And as the series goes on, there's going to be conflicts with different aliens and all sorts of shenanigans going on. So if you want to give that a taste before even Conscript comes out, Planet Born is available now. So just go ahead and click below and you can get your free copy. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. See you later. Bye.